Taco Tuesday, part 2. Take 1. Hey everybody, it's Greg Hicks with Impressions Catering, and here to talk to you about our special Taco Tuesday for April 28th, Tuesday, April 28th. We are going to be doing a JFC taco, Japanese fried chicken taco, with a little quick cheese slaw, and we're also going to be serving that with some of our thick cut black garlic chips. So I want to get right into it and show you what we're doing. We're going to take fresh chicken tenderloin, and I have sliced these a little bit thinner, but it's all white meat chicken tenderloin. Got some fresh chopped ginger goes in there, and this is for the marinade. This is going to marinate overnight. Some fresh chopped garlic, and that goes in. And then this is a soy marinade. You could use a teriyaki. We're using a soy garlic marinade. Store-bought is totally fine. You can see it's a little bit thicker than just straight soy sauce, so it's more like a sauce, more like a marinade. And then we're just going to toss that around. Now that's going to sit overnight, and you can see there's a lot of flavor going on in there. Fresh garlic, fresh ginger. We're going to let that sit overnight. And then what I actually want to show you is a pretty standard breading process for what you would do for fried chicken, with the addition of obviously our Japanese flavors that we're doing. So we're going to take an egg and just whip that up just a little bit. And again, this is a pretty standard breading process, going dry, wet, dry. We're going to add a little whole milk. Now, if I was just doing Southern style fried chicken, that's what I would do. You could use buttermilk in that, that would be fine. But since we're doing a JFC, not KFC, I'm going to take some of that soy ginger marinade and put that in there as well. So just another big punch of flavor that's going to get right up against that chicken. Mixing that up. And then I want to show you a really good way to not have to redecorate your kitchen while you're breading chicken. So if you take your chicken, again, pretty standard, dry into the flour. This is standard all-purpose flour. And we'll just do a couple pieces. Now I have a wet hand. I also have a dry hand. So if I keep my one hand dry and my one hand wet, then I don't have to have layers and layers of batter on my fingers. And I'm going to go straight into that wet marinade, keeping my wet hand out of it for now. Just kind of dusting off the rest of the flour off of that. Give that a little shaky shake, kind of make sure everything's coated. And then here's a trick that I like to do. You could go back to the flour for a standard breading. We're going to use a little Japanese panko. It's Japanese breadcrumb, easily found in the store. And then what I'm going to do is give it a little shake back and forth and keep that moving while I'm dropping the chicken in there. And that keeps the wetness of the chicken breading that you've got on there from turning into a big ball of goo in your panko breadcrumbs. So again, just kind of toss that around a little bit. Dry hand. You can now take that out and set it aside to go into your fryer. I've already got a fryer set up at 350 degrees. You can do this in your air fryer at home if you were to spray a little bit of oil over the top of this and do it in your air fryer, or if you want to do it in shallow frying on your stove top, you could do that as well. So again, that's a pretty standard, it's called dry, wet, dry breading process. What's the magic of TV? Dry, wet, dry breading process that then prevents you from having a giant mess in your kitchen or all over your hands. Sorry, that's a little crinkly. Okay, so now these end up going to the fryer. Okay. So the slaw that we're gonna do with this is a little, I'm gonna call it a quick chi. It's not really kimchi-ish, but it does use bok choy cabbage. You've seen this in the produce area and had no idea what to do with it. And I'm gonna show you at least one thing that you can do with it. We're gonna make a quick slaw. So with most leafy greens, basil, herbs like that, a really great way to do a really fancy cut called a chiffonade, basically it means shredded, is if you take your leafy green and roll it up, and that gives you a really tight bundle of leaves that you can then shred very, very thinly. So So we're going to do this on the bok choy and get into the core part a little bit, so we get a little extra crispiness into the core. And to that bok choy, I'm going to add just some green cabbage, and this is angel hair shred. You can buy it in a bag in the store. There's totally nothing wrong with that. Shredded this morning. We're going to add that together. And then to that, going to add some julienne red onion, green onion, and that becomes our slaw. Now for the dressing, I'm going to take a little rice wine vinegar. So it's a little different. It's not quite as tart and pungent as most of the vinegars probably that we're used to. Rice vinegar is really great for this. White sugar. So now you've got a little sweet and sour action going on. And the seasoning that we're using for the slaw is called piri piri. It's got a little citrus in it. It got some lemon, some orange peel, some other chilies and spices that are into that. And then just a little vegetable oil to kind of bring it together. So really very quickly, if you have a blender ball, one of the smoothie drink vessels, drinking vessels, you can use that for stirring it up. You could put it in your blender. We're really not worried about bringing it together as an emulsion, but really just trying to bring all those flavors together, okay? And then just gonna pour a little bit of that over our slaw. Whoa. Toss that around. So when we make this on Taco Tuesday, we're actually going to make it to order so that you still get all those flavors, but it does, the vegetables don't pickle too much and turn to mush, so it's still nice and crispy. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it too, still in the cabbage, but then you've really got all those flavors coming together with the piri piri and the rice wine vinegar and the sugar. So it's just a nice quick slaw. And then for assembling our tacos, I've got some chicken that's already come out of the fryer. I'm going to take some of our black garlic seasoning. Those of you that had our black garlic chicken wings a couple weeks ago, it's the same seasoning, so we're going to toss it around in that. Right. And then for assembly of the taco, we're going to take some of the chicken. I'm actually going to break it up here so that it fits inside the tortilla. This is secret concoction that I can't really tell you what's in here. There's a lot of fresh ginger, soy. It does have some mayonnaise and chili. Very, very flavorful. And so we're going to put a little bit of this JFC cream sauce on there. Top it with some of the fresh slaw. And then we're actually going to finish it off with a little bit more of the JFC sauce later. Taco Tuesday, April 28th, JFC fried chicken tacos with fresh slaw. We're also going to serve that with our hand-sliced, thick-cut potato chips with a little extra of the JFC for dipping. We're open 12 to 6. You can order online anytime at impressionscatering.net. Start your order for Taco Tuesday, or give us a call or text at 423-614-4051.